So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's conversation, which is being organized once again under the aegis of Intellectual Property Talent Search Examination Academy, which we also call as IPTSE Academy. This is the academy that administers IP Olympiads. Just like, we had these math, science, English Olympiads during our school times. It's almost similar to that. 3 years ago, IP Olympiad as an initiative was started, and this is open for schools, colleges, working professionals, startups. Let me quickly introduce you with our guest today, Dr. G.R. Raghavender. He is very well-known personality to all of us, to the entire IP community, also amongst Bollywood. He's a civil servant. He is currently serving as a joint secretary at Department of Ministry of Law and Justice in that department. He was formerly a copyright registrar. And in fact, the entire set of revisions in the Copyright Act, the statute book that took place in 2013, happened all under his able leadership and guidance. Today, he will be introduced and interviewed by 4 students. These are all creators, budding innovators. Let me just give their names to all of you. Bhumika, she is a class 12 student from Amity International School. Riya is a management student from Delhi University. Dakshita is a pharmacy student from LPU. And Vansh is a commerce student from Delhi University. With this, I really welcome Dr. Raghavendra to this team, to this interaction today. Would request you just for your initial open, few seconds of remarks before we get deep dive into the interview.
Thank you, Sheetal, for this general introduction. And good morning to everyone, especially the budding creators who are attending this program. And the great initiative taken by Sheetal Chopra and Aman to discuss important issues pertaining to copyright law, especially the basics and any common questions on copyright law. Now, this entire week is Intellectual Property Week. So yesterday was the World Book and Copyright Day. Yesterday was celebrated to mark the importance of the creators, authors, and their rights. And this will go on the week-long celebrations till 26th, which is the World Intellectual Property Day. So I congratulate Sheetal and Aman and their team. So bringing awareness among the young creative minds about the importance of copyright protection and management of rights. Thanks a lot. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, let's just get started with our interview today with you. And really, thank you, sir, because when I was speaking to these kids, they said, oh, wow, it's a great opportunity for them to be interacting directly with such a person like you who's got immense years of experience. Riya, may I request you to go ahead with your question to sir?
Yeah, so before asking my question, I would just like to say on behalf of all of us that we feel so honored to be interacting with a personality like you. So my first question is that what is the basic difference between copyright infringement and plagiarism?
Yeah. So, Riya, copyright infringement is a legal construct, simply. So it's somebody's legal right. For example, you're an author, you're written a book, so you have a bundle of economic rights associated with that, exclusive rights given to you by the legislation. That provisions of legislations are in compliance with the international conventions like Berne Convention, trade-related intellectual property rights agreement, and also the WIPO Internet treaties like WIPO Copyright Treaty and WIPO Phonograms and Performers and Phonograms Treaty, WPPT, and also WIPO Audiovisual Performances Treaty of the Beijing, famously known as Beijing Treaty. So what are these economic rights if without permission, because author is given exclusive rights over his work, like right to reproduction, right to publish, right to distribute, right to communication to the public, right to performance, right to translation, and also right to adaptation, making derivative works out of the book written by you. Like somebody wants to make a film out of your work. So, and they have to take permission. And any commercial use, so they have to take license from you. So like this, a bundle of economic rights are there. Somebody without your permission, photocopying it, or copies are uploaded on internet, on any other digital platform, and it is shared illegally, which is hurting your commercial interest or the right owner interest. So that is infringement. Infringement basically without authors or right owners, or without permission from the registrar copyright, he issues compulsory license. So any work, anything doing with your work, commercially utilizing it without paying royalties to you, without taking permission to you, is infringement. So it is legally violating your rights. So you get civil remedies and criminal remedies. So you can stop him doing that illegal copying and distributing. You can go to civil court, that is district court, you get an injunction, stop that infringement and all that. And you also get criminal remedies to stop that illegal economic exploitation. If that is proved, the infringer may get maximum 3 years imprisonment from 6 months, or minimum fine of 50,000 to maximum 2 lakhs. So this is about infringement, hurting your economic interest, exploitation of work, you are infringing your exclusive right. Plagiarism is a moral construct. So somebody is passing off your work, sorry, copying your entire work, or copying few paragraphs of your work, and without recognizing your work, giving respect to your work, neither acknowledging that Ria has written this, published under this publisher's name, or giving proper citation. So passing off as its own work. So it's immoral, ethical, a question of ethics and immorality. So it's a moral construct, plagiarism. Sometimes it is infringement also, and also plagiarism is immoral activity, unethical. And in infringement, what happens? Everyone knows, even user knows that is infringed copy, because original publication is published by such and such publisher. The price of your work is such an amount, whereas infringement copy, you see the red lights, boys and girls selling the copies, and you can haggle it at the lower price also. Whereas if you go to a bookshop, no discount is given unless and until your work is sold in the book fair, where some discount is given to attract the readership there. So plagiarism, what happens? Reader thinks that author is different. You have not written that. So he is fooling everyone. Even reader is fooled there. He is thinking that the author is someone else. So here, 3 people are getting fooled: author, publisher, and reader. Whereas infringement, reader knows that is infringed copy. So he should desist from accessing those works, and buying those works. He should be accessing only the legal works. So plagiarism is an insult to the author, because his works are passed on as somebody else's works. It's immoral and unethical.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. It was comprehensive. In fact, हम लोग जब जा रहे थे पीछे, I think one of the students was with me, and usually, एक बच्चा आता है with a bundle of books कि आप सस्ते में ले लो. I think that's a straight live example of plagiarism on roads that we usually see. And then one of the interviewees today, Dakshita, she created a reel exactly on the same issue, how someone is presenting someone's work. But thank you so much, sir. It was super nice. May I now request Bhumika? Go ahead with your question, Bacha. You are on mute. You are on mute, Bhumika.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
My question
Bhumika.
is that if I wish to use someone's dialogue or music or pictures, someone else's IP in my performance, which is monetized, then to what extent am I allowed to use it? Because I see that a lot of YouTubers, they get copyright claims from big companies, even if a fraction of their work is used. So it's a big deterrence for budding artists. What's your take?
Bhumika, one should realize that nothing is free. There are so many myths that you can use 30-second clip or so many paragraphs, quotations freely. And it is nothing but passing up because it's an intellectual creativity. You're not supposed to use anything without permission. Recently one famous poet, because it is being watched by many people in public. I don't want to take these celebrities' names. One celebrity author and a poet, he created a YouTube video reciting a famous Hindi poet works. So he created a video and he uploaded on the YouTube and started monetizing. And the son of that famous Hindi writer is a superstar, and he must have got this name. And he sent a legal notice to this Hindi poet who started monetizing it, and he was aghast. And he said, "I collected only this much money, and I'm sending you 60 rupees check." And many people created that multi-millionaire superstar. How come he sent notice to this young poet and receiving only 60 rupees? No, it's not the question of 60 rupees here. Without permission, of course, that famous legendary Hindi poet's works are entered public domain now. This happened before his works were in the public domain. So copyright was subsisting, life of the author plus 60 years. So that is illegal to create a derivative work and use it. One should always take permission and then only do that. But if you are creating a version recording, for example, you are a singer, you want to sing a Muhammad Rafi songs or Lata Mangeshkar song, you have to see what is the copyright in that. Even though performer singer has 50 years and the sound recording has 60 years, let us say 60 years has passed and 50 years of performer right has gone and 60 years of the sound recording right has gone. But the underlying works, the songwriters' rights, that is literary rights, and music composer rights, that music rights, music work rights, which has life of the author 60 years. So without permission, you can't do that. So there is a provision of called Section 31C in the Copyright Act, which talks about explains statutory licensing for version recording. So only after 5 years one is allowed to sing that again, create a version recording and monetize it, but not freely, paying the amount which has been decided by the as per the legislative direction. Earlier it is to be Intellectual Property Appellate Board, but recently an ordinance has been issued by the president, because parliament is not in the session now in the first week of April. That is tribunals Reformation Ordinance. Under this, the IPAB, Intellectual Property Appellate Board Tribunal, has been abolished. Now all these matters will be dealt by the single judge commercial bench of High Court. We have 25 High Courts in India. So all these 25 High Courts have commercial benches. So single original side, single judge bench will deal with all the matters pertaining to the intellectual property board, including copyright issues. So that is the reason why any work you are creating for the commercial purposes, you need to take permission, whether you are creating literary work or a sound recording or cinematographic work. But if you are creating for the educational purposes, okay, for any educational institution, or if you are creating any video for the students what is copyright law, and you want to make them aware by the institution which has been started by Aman and Sheetal Chopra. So here it is for the educational purposes, instructional purposes, even though it may not be an educational institution like school or college or university or recognized educational institution, you are doing for the non-profit purposes. If you are not monetizing it, freely making available, so then but then also you have to give an acknowledgement, the work which you have used for these educational purposes, instructional purposes, then it is allowed. Because even research and educational purposes, all works can be allowed, but with acknowledgement and citation. That is, you have to respect the work you are using for these kind of purposes.
Right, sir. And is this the reason that in most of the reality shows today, whether it is Kapil Sharma show or any other fashion design show, wherever there is a small clip being played when they're welcoming somebody, it is, you can't hear it anymore. They have silenced that particular part. I think it is primarily because
they have not taken permission. Otherwise, they have to pay royalties. Even a small clipping is there, because Kapil Sharma show is a commercial show. They're making crores of rupees each and every episode. So any song used there commercial purposes, they used to take. They have to take a license and pay royalties. Recently there was a court judgment against Mumbai Indians. They have not taken license from Indian Singers Rights Society, which handles the performer rights of all Indian singers. So the High Court has given stay on use of such songs by Mumbai Indians without taking a license from ISRA, because that is a commercial exploitation. Mumbai Indians, that each what is the amount of moolah they rake out of each IPL match. It's a commercial viewing. Yeah.
I think this gives a very good segue to next question from Vansh. Vansh, please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. My question to you is, so we keep creating content on several platforms, and it gets copied if we put a C mark on it. So a mere symbol cannot protect our content. So what are your views on this, sir?
Yeah, technology has especially the Web 2.0 has made available various platforms like YouTube and various social media websites, and you can create content, user generated content. That's what normally called, and you can upload it. But many people download this and start using it and sharing it. If they are sharing it for non-commercial purposes, and that is improving your presence on the internet. How many clicks you got, your popularity is increased. But somebody is taking that and monetizing it. that is illegal without your permission. So if then you have to ask them if they are not approaching you before monetizing, entering into an agreement and deciding how much royalties they have to pay for that commercial exploitation. For example, if you register and upload it on YouTube, you enter into a understanding with them or any other platform. Because my son is a content creator. He is a music composer using modern computer software. He creates each and every tune and mixes them and creates a musical note. So he has an understanding agreement with YouTube and Spotify and various platforms. So whenever somebody clicks and streams that videos, he gets small amount of money sent by these platforms. Otherwise, this can be shared also. I know I shared it on various social media platforms to promote him to my friends, that look, this is the content created by son. So that is not illegal. So I'm not hurting my sons, this thing. But who are streaming it, whichever platform they're choosing, whether YouTube or Spotify or any other, because there are multiple platforms are shown. Normally people go to YouTube or Spotify to select the platform to view it. So that platform will transfer small amount for that streaming to my son. So this is the way this is done. But there are other techniques. Now, if you don't want to enter into any understanding with the platform, there are encryption technologies. So you can put encryption technologies on that, and you yourself can manage monetizing your videos, your content, and you have to have a payment gateway for that. And whoever pays certain amount, for instance, I want to watch your program, and you have become very popular, your content is very popular. So I click on your website, I choose a video. For streaming it, I make a certain payment through the payment gateway, and then I register, login, and password. So that login password allowed to be created after making the payment to you through that payment gateway. So I can open your video, I can stream it. So my password, login and password is going to be de-encryption of your encryption device, which has been attached with your video. But there are other guys, computer savvy guys, they misuse their knowledge and hack your encryption key. They won't go to your payment gateway. They won't make you the payment. They won't legally register login and password. They simply hack it and de-encrypt it. And not only stream it, the access control encryption key, they hack it. They they also downloading key also they de-encrypt, download, and start uploading illegally everywhere over the internet websites. Then your commercialization is taken for the toss. So you don't get that much amount because everyone is watching freely instead of making payment to you. Then what to do? That's what the WIPO copyright treaty, WIPO performance phonograms treaty address the internet issues like that, internet platforms issue. Anyone knowingly circumvents technological protection devices like these encryption devices, they have to be provided legal remedies by the member countries. Now, India is a signatory to WCT, WPPT. India before signed that only harmonized Indian copyright law in 2012 amendment, introducing the section 65A and 65B. So Indian law says there is a fine to be imposed on the people who illegally hack and download the content and distribute, and also 2 years imprisonment. So this is the law, copyright law at present, Indian copyright law after 2012 amendments. protection
Thank you
granted
so
to
much.
creators and right owners.
I think it's quite overwhelming for all of them to know that they can actually start monetizing what they create at such a young age. So thanks for explaining them, sir. I'll now request Dakshita. Please go ahead with your question.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
So
Dakshita.
I have always noticed that books come with a warning on the very first page that we should not copy their contents. But sir, being a student, we still do it. So then, sir, what is the need of these instructions? Why are these given?
Because students do this because they are not aware about the copyright law, number one. Copyright is an exclusive right given to the author. Okay, if author transferred his rights for publication of this book to the publisher, rights are with the publisher. So you're not supposed to copy paste while doing your project work in a school or a college. So that is plagiarism. When you copy and paste, now teacher will think that you are written, but teacher is very experienced. People doing this, students doing this, whether in university or college or undergraduate school or in a school, high school. So it is plagiarism. This kind of plagiarism may be single source plagiarism. One may be copying from one book, or multiple source plagiarism, various books one may be copying, or self-plagiarism, because some authors write their own book, they copy and create other book where they're copying without giving citation, their own citation and their own acknowledgement. So whenever you take something from any book, even a small sentence, that is a phrase, is a popular phrase which is been expression, original expression of the author. So when you're copying something, there is no originality. What is infringement? Basically, what is originality? Copyright respects only original expression. It should not be a novel expression. When you write something, you have to read something and understand, right? You may be paraphrasing something after reading few sentences. Still you have to acknowledge, because the basic expression, you are putting it in a different manner. Still you have, because that has not been originated from your thoughts. If your thoughts giving some ideas, those ideas you're expressing, that is originality there. Then you need not give any citation, because it is your original expression, that is. But something you read, either you cut and paste, you have to give citation and reference, or even though you are paraphrasing it, you use rewriting in your English, your thoughts, but still that same content you are using, same idea you're using, so you have to give. So that practice has to come to an end, and many softwares have come to identify the plagiarism. But still many people think that 15% is allowed, 30% is allowed, is all myths. So a conservative and a purist copyright person like me, we always say that anything you copy, even a phrase you copy, that has to be acknowledged, and citation has to be. Otherwise, that is infringement or plagiarism. So you have to respect the copyright of other creators. Now, just like you can't take somebody else's mobile and start saying that yours. So similarly, the intellectual property is an intangible property. So you can't take away somebody else's creation, start saying and promoting and passing off as yours. You have to respect the copyright.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can see that the time is almost over. We didn't even realize this, but I'll just take two quick questions, which have been posted by the audience on the YouTube channel live. Yeah, so there is one question from Yuvraj. He's asking that the mimicry artists, are they required to obtain permission from original performer, even if it is just a meme? And there is a similar question by Guru's Mirror Minds, where he's asking that creating memes using some film clips, is it not a copyright infringement, because we don't see all of those notices coming to meme creators? Yeah, sir.
Any mimicry or creation of memes, they're all nothing but criticism or review. So while copying that content or performance of an artist, Sholay, Gabbar Singh or Basanti, or many times since I was kid, people have mimicked that and recreated that for the fun, and now memes are created. Now there are copyright exceptions, which we call it fair dealing under Indian law, and because we follow the common law practice of the United Kingdom, where this concept of fair dealing evolved, where list of activities are given. Doing such activity is not infringement of copyright because it is not going to hit the creator or the right owner commercially. So in American concept, it is called fair use. So what is criticism review is an exception given to for the innovative purposes. So you are innovatively criticizing it by creating a mimicry or a parody or a meme. So all these activities are not infringement of copyright. This is a universally acknowledged copyright exception, whether it is a fair dealing model or fair use model. It is recognized in all international copyright conventions. So it is allowed.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. And there were a lot of questions that they all wanted to ask. Given the paucity of time, we may not be able to. But we'll definitely catch you again, sir, with our more new creative young minds. But thank you so much for coming over.
Yeah, thank you, Sheetal, and thank you, Aman, and all the young participants who asked questions to me. And I would like to say that we are all going through the hard times, unprecedented times, but stay strong and stay positive, but don't get COVID positive results. Wear a mask always, and maintain social distancing, and wish you all the best. And I pray to God that all of you will be safe and healthy. Take care. Thank you very much, Sheetal, again giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.